Michelle's speech title is A Journey into Uncharted Waters. This is out of Conflict Communication Manual, speech number 3, get to the point. Rosemary, it's going to be 5 to 7 minutes. Breast cancer is the most common cancer among women in the United States, except for skin cancer. About 1 in 8 women in the U.S. will develop invasive breast cancer during their lifetime. This year, it is estimated that there will be over 330,000 new cases of breast cancer diagnosed in women, and 40,920 women will die from it. However, with the push for early detection, better coordination of care, and advances in treatment, the survival rate has tripled over the last 60 years. There are currently over 3.1 million breast cancer survivors in the United States. When a family member, friend, or colleague is faced with this diagnosis, there is a shock, a sense of powerlessness, and a question like, how can I help, or what can I do? Please welcome Michelle Henry, A Journey into Uncharted Waters.
I counted in the room today, I think there's about 11 or 12 women in this room, which means that one woman in this room is going to be diagnosed with breast cancer. That woman is me. In December, I was diagnosed with stage 2 breast cancer. I want to let you know that I'm going to be okay. I have an early stage, and the prognosis is very good for me. And the treatment on Thursday is a mastectomy, and then I'll know more in about 2 weeks. But I'm not here today to talk about me. I am here today to talk about what a loved one or friend can do to help someone who's been diagnosed with breast cancer. The first thing you can do is give that woman a hug. Hugging is the simplest way that you can show someone that you care. And when you're at a loss for words, you just give them a hug. We need hugs for survival. We need hugs to decrease stress, and it helps decrease depression. And so my motto is, when all else fails, give that woman a hug. The second thing that you can do to help a woman who's been diagnosed with breast cancer is be a good listener. I hope that everyone has a friend like my best friend Mary. And during the 4 months that I've had to mull over my diagnosis, she's been there to simply say, how are you doing? How are you feeling? And it allows me to talk about whatever I'm feeling and whatever I want to talk about. And she listens, she doesn't say a word, there's no judgment, and it allows me, and it allows a woman with this diagnosis to vent frustration, anger, happiness, because there is a lot of good that comes out of being diagnosed. And I know that's a hard thing to maybe fathom, but the love and kindness that has been shown to me during this time has been extraordinary. So be a good listener. The third thing that you can do is lend a helping hand. Treatment, the diagnosis and the treatment wreak havoc on a schedule. And if a woman is going to have a mastectomy, the first 3 weeks, she can't cook, she can't clean, she can't drive, she can't do any repetitive movements. So if you want to help, you can be very specific about how you can help. You can make freezable meals and send them over. You can offer to drive her kids to and from school, or drive kids to and from activities. You can offer to walk the dog if there's a dog in the family. And you can even help with dressing changes. A friend of mine, her neighbor was diagnosed with breast cancer, and she had a double mastectomy, and she needed help. And it's not for the faint of heart, so if you can't tolerate blood or incisions, then that's something that you can pass along to someone else. But that is something that can help her make the first few days after surgery or treatment along the way easier. Another thing that you can do is offer to drive her to chemotherapy. Chemotherapy can be very taxing, and I haven't experienced it. I don't know if I will, but other women that I've talked to, it's exhausting, and they need someone to help to drive them. I'm going to tell you a fourth thing that you can do, or avoid, and that is avoid saying two phrases. Everything happens for a reason, and it could be worse. The diagnosis of breast cancer, whether it's early or late, is shocking. And if you're going to compare it to the massive famine in Yemen or the military conflict in Syria, well, yes, having breast cancer in the United States of America, and I have insurance with treatment up the road at UNC Chapel Hill, is not bad. But what you do is you invalidate her feelings. You invalidate what she feels, and you are judging her. If on a bad day you ask, how are you feeling? And she says, well, I feel like crap. To say things like, well, it could be worse, or everything happens for a reason, if you don't know what to say, just revert back to one. Give her a hug. You're going to walk out this door, and in the course of your life, you are going to meet more women like me who are diagnosed with breast cancer. And they can be a friend that you care about, a colleague, a neighbor. Remember these 4 actions of kindness to let them know you care. Thank you.